Good day, good day. How's everyone doing? Trying to get my little camera straightened out here. So, today we are just simply adding one fresh item, but then making use of our leftovers from the Alfredo that we made on Saturday. I like to reuse things before they get to the point where you can't. So with this today, what we're doing is we're going to add some rosemary leaves. These are nice bone-in chicken thigh portions. It's already been cleaned. You're going to add a little rosemary in here, like so. Also, when I'm dealing with chicken, I like to add a little citrus of some type. So I'm going to use a few splashes of lemon juice. My straps never stay up on my shoulders. I have very rounded shoulders, as they call them, so nothing ever stays up. We're going to get our food grade gloves out because we're going to need to mix this in a bit. The next thing that's going to go in is some sweet and smoky rub. Now, what I'm doing today is I'm making Alfredo wraps or burritos, if you want to call it. It's going to be pretty cool. I don't know how to explain it to you, but it's going to be cool, and they're really going to be good with some of the warmed up Alfredo sauce on the side, but also with a little of it in there. It's going to be full of tomatoes, white sweet onion, and some melted mozzarella, and some Parmesan Pecorino mixture for your cheese. Right now, I am chopping up some cilantro stems and leaves that were left. This is a good way to use those items that were still left in your fridge. Just get them in there. The stems of your food is actually where most of the flavor is in your herbs and vegetables. And a lot of people don't know that. So you just want to get that all in there. Like so. We're also going to add some Sazon. I know it's hard to see because we got two orange reddish colored items here. A little celery seed. Now we're going to pan sear or pan fry this chicken, but without breading. Alright, no breading. And last but certainly not least, some pink Merlot salt. I have run out of the standard iodized salt everyone is used to, but I still have my Merlot salt. So that's what we're going to use today. You can also use other things for salt. Like I have some fish oil here. I have some soy sauce. I have Worcestershire. There's all kinds of ways to get a salt content in your food. So you don't always have to rely on just straight salt. And then the last thing we're going to do, just a little bit of cumin. I really like building my flavors. It's really, 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 really super important, especially when you're dealing with poultry, in my opinion. That's my opinion. Y'all don't have to agree with it, but I think it's a worthy and valid opinion. And now you got your gloves on, and you're just going to make sure everything is mixed up really good. And when it goes in the pan, we're also going to add things like some lemon pepper, some garlic, and some freeze-dried basil to this. Because you kind of want to keep with the Italian flavoring idea of this. So, there you go. Take this off just so I can tilt the bowl. We're going to throw these in the trash. Look how beautiful that is. I'm going to let this marinate for about an hour or so. I'm going to cover it, let it marinate. Good to go. So there you have it. Be back in a bit. Alright, so I am back. And sorry, my dog is mad because him and the cat get moved out when I cook. He is not happy. He wants to be in the house. But not while I'm doing my cooking. Absolutely not. I know some people don't mind their pets being like wandering around their kitchen area and stuff, but I absolutely do. So that's not happening. He will be okay for a little bit. So I just want to cut off just a little bit of onion. We don't need a lot. We're going to bag up the rest of this huge, beautiful onion. I buy these actually for making an onion ring. Not normally for things like this, but today it's being used for this. Give me one moment, please, because yeah, the dog is going to get on my nerves. One moment. So hopefully he gives us some quiet moments now. You never know with him, but hopefully his needs have been met. We're going to pray on it. I'm going to re-sanitize my hands after touching that door. Alright. So we are definitely going to hope that he is going to behave and let me film in peace. Alright. So you of course want to take the skin off. And these pieces can be relatively thin because they're going to be laid in said burrito wrap, or what do you want to call it? I hate calling it burrito because it's an Italian food item going in it, so that's not what we're going to call it. We're just going to call it a wrap. You might have some extra there when you get done. Some other things that are going in here are some arugula and some tomato and some green onion. I want it to be like your salad and your pasta, and all of those things came together in one, and there go the avocados, came together in one nice, yummy handheld roll. Hold on one moment, please. Guys, back, had to take a family emergency phone call real quick. So as you can see, I've got onions, some green onions, some tomatoes, and some shiitake mushrooms getting chopped up here. Shiitakes are so good. And as usual, my teenager is standing here dancing in my cooking studio. She loves to do it, y'all. One of these days I'm gonna turn this camera around so y'all can see it. Because she's always in here giving these little side performances while I'm trying not to cut fingers off. Always in here just giving these little side shows, knowing that it's like messing with me. So we'll be using our Cuisinart Pro Griddler today instead of the smaller one that I used to make the waffles the other day. So here you see everything that's going to also go in. I need the arugula and the cheese over here. The sauce is on top of the range top. And the very last thing that we definitely need for this to work is the pasta itself, which I'm going to set in a separate area over here out of the way. So I want to grab some of it. So I'm going to turn this off and I'll be right back in a few because we're getting ready to start pan frying the chicken. Be back in a minute. Okay, so we've got our oil together here. And now what we're going to do is we're going to put in some freeze-dried basil. Let me find my other freeze-dried items, hopefully. I love when they're where I can actually find them. That don't happen much in this house. Some freeze-dried dill. Now, my main reason for doing this is really just to make sure that my oil has flavor. I love flavored oil. Get some minced garlic in there. Mix all this up beautifully here. And just a little chop. All right. Now we're going to bring this pan to high heat. I'm gonna let all those heat up in there and infuse the oil with all those lovely flavors. I know my phone is giving so much noise today that it's ridiculous, but I just wanted to show you this, and this is what we're gonna do. We're getting ready to grab the chicken. Remember that chicken we marinated earlier? Here it is. And I'm just going to sit it over here so that it's where I need it to be when I'm ready for it. And that's what we're doing. And I'll be back in a bit once this has actually started bubbling. Alright, we're back. Listen to that sizzle. Doesn't it sound lovely? I love the sound of that. It's like the best sound in the world. Alright. So we got that going. Starting to smell good too. Starting to smell good. You know how people say I love it when a plan comes together? I love it when a dish comes together. Just want to lay your items in. With fish, you always must start skin down. With chicken, you can do either, as long as you're going to flip it. I'm sure some people would say you should start skin down. With me, either way is fine. And we want to get the rest of our herbs. We don't want to waste any of the herbs. Get that all in there. Like so. Alright. And wash your hands after touching raw chicken, of course. Alright. So we're just going to spread these out. Try to give everybody enough space to do their thing. So to recap, the herbs you see are chopped cilantro. We have freeze-dried rosemary, freeze-dried dill, freeze-dried basil. Of course, fresh variations of those things are the best, but sometimes we use what we have. So this is what we have, and if you do it correctly, the flavors will still be wonderful. No need for concern. All right, so we're gonna let this go for a while. And I'll be back shortly. Oh, it was up too high. Hold on. Let's bring you down here. So now you can see. I'm sorry, I didn't realize y'all's vision there wasn't correct. So there is our chicken doing what it does. Look at all the lovely color on it from where we marinated it. And one moment. Now, of course, any other day, I would be able to reach for this and find it easily. I'm looking for my paprika. Yeah, I'm not quite sure where my paprika has ended up. The red colored. I got it, guys. We're in business. I like to put a little paprika on the chicken or in the oil, whichever one you prefer. It gives a little flavor, but it definitely gives color. So there we go. That's what we were missing. Gotta have it. Just like, you know, if you go to the barbecue and the deviled eggs and the potato salad don't have paprika on it, the wrong auntie cooked it. Alright, so I'll be back in a bit. Okay. So the way this looks is exactly what you want. Look at that beautiful browning that's happening. This is how you want it to look. So you can fry beautiful chicken that does not always... We're going to move these closer to the middle. They have not had a chance to brown like these other pieces have. We want them to go a little longer. And I'm going to turn these skin side down first, since they're having a little harder of a time, while we let these others hang out around the edges just to be sure that they're done. And you want to get your paper towel and your tray ready. Alright. So we got this ready, and I'll be back in a few. Here we have the chicken. Now, I poured that gravy over that you see, well, the essence with the herbs and stuff over that you see on the paper towel. There was not that much grease prior to me pouring, but I just wanted to give it some of the flavors from the pan. These dark items are not burnt. It's a sear, okay? It's a sear, and it's the flavors and the seasonings that have blackened while it was cooking. So now I'm getting ready to move on to doing the wraps. Be back shortly. Okay, so we're moving on to the getting ready to make the wraps portion of things. This is the fun part of the day. So we have our griddle heating up currently. That's the important thing. You want it hot. And I buy these extra large, supposedly gourmet. I don't think there's anything gourmet about them, but they like to call them that. Tortillas, if you will. So the first layer I'm going to go with is, and we're just going to put this here so I can reach for things easily. I'm going to put some arugula down first. The arugula has been drizzled with some balsamic. You know, actually, to protect this and make it stick together better, let's nix that. You want to put your cheese layer first, all right? So, put the cheese down first. As much as you like. And then your arugula, like so. As much or as little as you like. Some green onion, like so. Some regular onion. These items are mainly to give it some crunch. Some mushrooms, like so. Make sure you can see everything. Let me lower you down some. The mushrooms, okay. some shrimp. That chicken is going to be served on the side of your dish, not in it. And last up, before we put the noodles and the sauce in the wrap, some tomatoes, which I had already seasoned. And put on your layer of the noodles, like so. Then more cheese, like so. You're gonna grab your sauce. I have one of my smaller ladles. And I just made a mess. Good Lord, gotta clean it up. You just want to put some of that on. Remember, you're also going to serve some to your guests on the side. All right. One second. I'm also working, so unfortunately, I also have to answer messages. I'm sorry, guys. Working. I'm sorry. These moments happen. Alright, so while that's going on in my crazy life, we're going to try to roll this. It is going to be messy. That's okay. Roll it. Start to do your tuck in on both ends, like so. Roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it. All right. Now I'm going to take you guys with me on a little journey here. We've had this thing heating up for a while. Slide it straight in. Close it down. Oh, and it slid back. Slippery. I hate that. So I'm just going to hold it because it's just going to keep trying to run away from it. Still working, and I apologize, guys. Alright, so once it's gotten in there, it'll stop sliding around everywhere. Let that do what it does for a few minutes. I'll be right back. Alright, and we've got that one done. So while we're waiting for the plate that's actually going to go on for presentation to get done, we're going to just go ahead and move it to here. Alright? And now that one's ready for our next one. But before I even get to the next one, I'm going to finish my plating. Be back in a moment. Okay, so here we are. So what we're going to do now is we're going to drizzle some of this warmed up sauce right over top of this. just a little bit. And get a little bit on your piece of chicken too, just a little bit. Definitely want to get as much on here as you can. And I like to just give it a nice smear. A nice smear, like so. And of course, the last thing, just to give it some color, you can also use fresh leaves if you want, but we're just, because this is just lunch at home, so we're going to do it this way. Just a little simple. And we're going to cut into this one real quick. And we can also give it just a little drizzle of one more piece of arugula on top and some green onion. And I'm going to get a picture of this as it is first, and then I'm going to take the picture. One last thing. See, you always want to be careful and make sure you're not forgetting little important components. Give just a little sprinkle of your Pecorino and Romano. Make it beautiful. And let me get this pic real quick, and then we're going to cut into it. So, another close-up of it. This is the, we'll call it the Italian wrap. It has been grilled. It's full of Alfredo. We've got a lovely pan-seared piece of chicken. This is all drizzled in Alfredo sauce. And also garnished with green onion. Some arugula with just a little balsamic. And some dry parsley. And some Pompadero Romano cheese. Sorry. My daughter's walking around and it's taking me a little bit. I'm like forgetting what I'm trying to say. So I apologize. So here we have the finished plate presentation. We have some arugula with balsamic. We have the stuffed Alfredo packet or wrap, if you want to call it, covered in some creamy Alfredo sauce, garnished with another piece of arugula, some green onion. We have a lovely piece of pan-seared chicken and another piece of arugula. And we are about to cut into this baby right now. Okay, guys. So when you cut into things that are for other people, never cut straight. Cut on the bias so it's pretty. So you always want to cut in a slant. So I'm going to go this way. Try to make sure we get through everything. Get through all the layers. And I'm going to slide that. And we're going to come in with a video and a pic just so you can see how cheesy it is. Be right back. So this is a close-up inside view of that cheesy Alfredo wrap. Look at that. Look at how good. Look at the view inside. Get up even closer. Beautiful. Yummy. Zoom out so you can see it all. Delicious.